Today I thought it would be interesting to talk about what net worth you would have to have in order to be in America's upper class, middle class, and lower class, so that you can see where you fit in, and then we can talk about how to increase that to move you to upper class. I am Tiffany Thomas with WealthyTiffany.com, and I achieved financial freedom and became a millionaire. If you were looking to do one or both of those things, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button, and we're going to dive right in. All right, let's first define what net worth really means so that we can know exactly where we fall. Net worth means that you take all of your assets, everything you own, and then you subtract out all of your liabilities, everything that you owe. For example, if you own a home, then you would take the value of your home and then subtract out the mortgage loan that you have left on your home. Or if you own a car, then you would take the value of your car and subtract out the amount that you have left on your car loan. You take all of your assets, everything you own, your house, your car, if you have any investments, or if you have a savings, an emergency fund, the amount that's in your checking account, and then you would subtract out everything that you owe, so all of your liabilities. So your mortgage loan, your car loan, any debt that you might have on credit cards, any student loans, a personal loan, anything like that. So you'll total up all of your assets, have that amount, subtract out all of your liabilities, and that would be your net worth. For example, like I mentioned before, I am a millionaire. My net worth is about 1.3 million. I have one mortgage left. I have paid off my other, three mortgages when I had 4 properties, but now I'm down to 3 properties and I just have one mortgage left. I take the value of all of my properties, subtract out whatever mortgage I have left. I add up all of my investments that I have, everything in my checking and savings. I deduct out whatever I have currently on my credit cards. So figure out your own net worth right now, and an easy way to do that is to use a free app. I love using it. It's called Personal Capital. You can hook all of your financial accounts to Personal Capital, so everything we just talked about. You can enter in your value of your home, all of your credit cards, checking, savings, your 401k, all of your retirement accounts, and then you can actually see right in Personal Capital what your net worth is. They calculate it for you. If that's something you're interested in, I will leave a link below. You can click on that to set up a free account with Personal Capital. And then we are going to talk about how it's broken down into upper class, middle class, and lower class, and then you can see where you fall. Here is a chart from the US Census Bureau with the net worth of Americans broken down. You can see that the bottom 20%, which is the poverty class, has a net worth of $6,030. So that is very, very low. And then when we move to the next bracket, the next 20%, it is the lower middle class, and they have a net worth of $43,760. And then moving to the next middle 20%, it's considered the middle class. They have a net worth of $104,700. And then moving up to the next 20%, it's considered the upper middle class, and they have a net worth of $201,800. Then moving to the very top 20%, and these are considered wealthy, they have a median net worth of $608,900. So if your net worth is between $43,760 and $201,800, you are considered middle class. And looking at these different sections for the net worth of Americans, money is thought about very, very differently in each category. When we are at the very bottom, we are struggling to make ends meet, usually living paycheck to paycheck, if we are even getting a paycheck every 2 weeks. And it makes it really difficult to think about even building wealth when we are struggling with a place to live, when we are struggling with just finding a roof to keep over our heads and warm clothes to wear. And I actually did a video about, does money buy happiness? And in a sense, it does buy happiness to a certain degree. And if you want more details about that, I will leave a link to the video above and below, and you can check that out later on. But to a certain degree, it really does matter. Money can buy us happiness, but once we hit that certain point, our happiness doesn't really increase when our money is increasing. So it's not really just about making more money all of the time. And speaking of making more money, even when you increase your income, a lot of times people will increase the amount they are spending. It's called lifestyle inflation. Once they receive that promotion at work, they get that big raise at work, then they think, oh, well, I can spend more money. I can buy that boat that I've been wanting to purchase. Or I can buy that second car. When their income is increasing, then they are increasing their lifestyle expenses, and that isn't helping grow their wealth at all. So we really want to be careful of lifestyle inflation. When we start increasing our income, we don't want to increase our spending. We want to increase our investing. And I wanted to show you these numbers just so that you can kind of see where you fall with most Americans. But this isn't the end all be all. Yes, we want to increase our net worth over time, but we don't need to be in the super wealthy category to be happy. As long as we are focusing on spending our money on things that bring happiness to our lives, bring joy into our lives, then we are doing really, really well. I want to show you another chart. This is the net worth by age, so that you can kind of see where you are currently based on your age. So if you are younger than 35, the median net worth for the average American is $15,700. Then when you go from 35 to 44, the net worth increases to $83,150. And then moving up from there, 45 to 54, it is $139,200. And then from ages 55 to 64, it's $203,900. And then moving into 65 to 69, it's $266,400. And then 70 to 74, it's $305,100. And then when you hit 75 plus, it actually decreases. So it's $249,500. And that decrease is probably because they are starting to spend their principal amount that they have invested instead of just the interest that they have been earning on their investments. As you can see, until you hit age 75, your net worth should be increasing. And that's because usually your education is continuing to increase and you are becoming more experienced in the work field, you're getting promotions, and you've gotten raises over the year, and hopefully you've learned to invest your money and continue to invest your money. But these are just some averages to give you an idea on where most Americans fall. And honestly, I feel like these are pretty low amounts, especially for those that want to retire early, those that are part of the FIRE movement, Financial Independence Retire Early, because we focus a lot on saving a lot of our money so that we can invest the majority of that money sooner than later, and then we can have that option to retire early if we want to. But we are focusing on becoming financially free at a young age so that we can really live our lives to the fullest and we don't have to rely on someone else for money or even rely on working for the money. And I would actually aim higher than what these charts are showing. Because if we really want to become financially free, we need to invest 25 times the amount that we are going to be taking out of our investments every year. And if that was confusing, let me say it in a different way. We want to take what our annual expenses are, or what they would be in retirement years, multiply that number by 25, and that would be the amount that we would need to have invested in order to live off of our investments, in order to quit our jobs if we wanted to. And I'm not saying you have to shoot for a super high amount like $10 million or something, but whatever it is that you are comfortable living off of, that is what we want to aim for. And if we can aim just a little bit higher than that amount, then we're able to help more people. I really believe it's important for us to become self-reliant so that we can take care of not only ourselves, but so that we can help other people. We can take care of our aging parents, or we can make sure that we are providing for our families, or that we have that extra money to donate to a cause that we believe in. While these numbers can give you the average for Americans, you really want to figure out what your own number is, what you want your own net worth to be, so that you can live a comfortable lifestyle that you want to be living. And a few ways that we can increase our net worth and aim for our financial freedom number is by definitely spending less money than you are making and having an emergency fund, and then also investing any extra money that you have. And you want to make investing a priority. And I do talk about that in another video. I will leave a link to that above and below. And I like investing in the stock market and in real estate. With real estate, I have buy and hold properties and they create cash flow for me each month. And then with the stock market, I have my retirement accounts like a Roth IRA, but I also have a brokerage account, which means I can pull money out of that at any time that I want to, and I can switch what I have that invested in. So if I wanted to take money from the stock market and put it into real estate, which is actually how I bought my 4th property, then I can do that. And if you want to know all of the benefits of a brokerage account, I have a video about that. I'll leave a link above and below. But we want to make sure that we are investing as much as possible as soon as possible. That is going to make the biggest difference. We don't want to leave a lot of our money sitting in a savings account not working for us. I made that mistake when I was younger, and I wish I wouldn't have. I know I can't go back in time. And that is why as soon as I realized how much money I could be making by investing it, I started investing more of it. Another thing that will help us is believing in ourselves, believing that we can increase our net worth. Because if we tell ourselves we can't, then we won't be able to. But if we are telling ourselves that we can, then we are going to figure out how to do that. Opportunities will come our way. We will read about things that we can invest in. We will learn about different investments that we can make. So we really want to be open-minded and have that positive mindset and know that we can achieve financial freedom. We also want to keep that long-term perspective. If we are just so focused on the short term and instant gratification, we are going to spend all of our money right now and then have nothing in retirement or have very little in retirement. Think about where you want to be in 10 years, in 15 years, or even at the end of this year. What are the steps you need to take today to get you there? Also, we want to be tracking our money and setting our financial goals. And like I mentioned before, an easy way to track your money is with Personal Capital. So I will leave that referral link below if you're interested in that. And if not, that's fine. Then set up a budget in a spreadsheet. I actually use both. I have a spreadsheet or a Google Sheet now, and then I also use Personal Capital so that I can really see my full financial picture and decide where I need to make changes. Another thing to keep in mind is that it is not about deprivation, it's about prioritization. So I'm not saying we have to cut back on all of our spending and never go out to eat or never buy a new shirt, right? We just set our priorities and then we can spend our money on those priorities and then cut back on the rest so that we have money to invest. Comment below and tell me what your biggest takeaway was from this video today. And if you found it helpful, please hit that like button and share it with someone else who would like to hear this information. And hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that little bell to get notified on when I post new videos. And if you want to see even more content from me, check out the videos on the side of the screen. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.